Thank you. Joining us from Louisville. And for more on Muhammad Ali and his legacy, we're joined by Randolph Terrance. He's a personal boxing trainer, former amateur boxer, and fight promoter. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me back.
Good to see you.
I appreciate coming back. Not for this occasion.
Yes, he was such a strong man, but I hope we're celebrating his life today and looking back at so many of his accomplishments and how he really brought a spirit and a vitality and stood his ground on so many political stances. What do you think about when you look back at him? What comes to mind the most for you?
Strength. Strength first and foremost. Strength of character, strength of body, strength of mind. Although his body started to fail him in the later years of his life because of all the punishment he endured through the fighting, he was still such a strong man. You can see his daughter said that after he had passed and he turned all the machines off, his heart still beat for 30 minutes. That's strength.
That was an amazing
His heart
anecdote.
is what drove him so far.
And he had been so close so many times, they say, where his health was really failing and they thought this could be the time, but he rallied and came back.
Right, strong, just such a strong individual, strong of character, strong of morals. Not a perfect man, but a strong man, and that's the thing I remember.
I want to ask you about his political convictions. We've been talking about this throughout the day, refusing to sign up for the Vietnam War. He was a polarizing figure in the U.S. He visited more than 100 countries, but he was still beloved. Yeah. How was he able to overcome that with so many people?
That strong personality, that strong, magnetic personality. You walk into the room, there are people like you have to look at him. You want to be by him. You want to touch him. Even if you don't agree with him, you have that thing of, oh, I guess it's okay that he says that. You know, that thing. Plus the stance that he was taking was morally a sound stance. It wasn't an immoral stance. It was a morally sound stance. I don't want to kill someone who hasn't done anything to me. It's not a whole lot of argument you can put against that.
You're a former amateur boxer. Tell us what was so unique about his style.
His style is very unique to him. He really harnessed his tools. Tall, long, light on his feet, great endurance. The style and all that is the one thing. The thing that really drove Muhammad Ali as a boxer was his willingness to do whatever it took and the hardness that he trained. He was the guy who trained harder than anybody else. He was the guy who was willing to say, I'll die in here. If that's what it takes. He understood that a fight is only 20-25% won in the ring. 80% of it is won out of the ring. And he was the one who exemplified that. He was the one who laid down that for every other fighter. When I was fighting, I remember thinking, well, I can't fight like that, but maybe I can train like that. Maybe I can get up at 5 in the morning and buy the combat boots, which I did, buy the combat boots and run 5 and 6 miles of combat boots. Wasn't smart for me, but I tried because I was like, this is what it takes to be that great.
Do you feel like other fighters, let's say Tyson, Merriweather, Pacquiao, there's so many, that they in some way tried to emulate him?
Yes, the top guys, of course. If you ask Tyson always said Ali was the greatest heavyweight, hands down. In my opinion, he was too. All the top guys train that way. That's what gets you there, and he's the one who kind of laid that down for everybody. This is what it takes. If you're not willing to do this, then you should not do this sport because it's hard.
He was an icon. Who would you compare him to in the world of sports?
No one.
No one.
They compare to him. No one compare. Everybody's trying to be him. He wasn't trying to be anybody else. Maybe Jim Brown, but Jim Brown didn't have the reach that he did because of the sport he played. Jim Brown's a football player. That's a strictly American sport, but boxing is worldwide.
He was internationally.
Yeah, boxing is a worldwide thing. As far as their political views and stuff like that, him and Jim Brown definitely aligned with one another, as well as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but because it's boxing and he traveled all over the world, and he also had that magnet, that personality, that light that just came out of him, and everybody saw it. I think any sport that he played in, he probably would have been that, but I think boxing singularly allowed him to spread the message that he wanted to spread.
Well, Randolph Terrance, we certainly appreciate you coming in and paying tribute, as we've been hearing from so many people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.